holidays are approaching, and I hope that everybody's doing well. A lot of people going through a lot of things. You know, I feel like the holiday seasons just kind of bring the worst out of people. I don't know. I was just telling my coworkers today, like, shit ain't the same to COVID. Like, even though you kind of try to be normal, it's just Christmas don't be Christmasing. You know, my son gonna be with me this year for Christmas. You know, he's like, okay, I wanna be with you. I'm like, okay. But his birthday's 3 days after. But today I wanted to talk about fibroids, and I wasn't going to talk about it. It's just a touchy subject, but I was like, why not? To keep it short, sweet and short. So basically, a fibroid is a growth that is on your ovary, and sometimes it could grow. Sometimes a lot of y'all see women with bellies, and people think it's fat, or they think it's the person's pregnant when it could actually be a fibroid. So in 2018, I started bleeding very heavy. And, you know, I just thought it was just me getting older. You know, just whatever. I had turned 29 that year. And I started getting cramps. And my significant other... I feel like I started getting the cramps in 2017, but they started getting worse by 2019. And 2018, it was off and on, so I didn't really think anything of it to get it tested up until the pandemic, because at that point it was unbearable and everything like that. So yeah, y'all, I just got home. And I'm like, I wanted to do this video real quick, but I wanted to talk about fibroids. So yes, I was telling y'all. So I found out that so this is what happened. So those of y'all who are from New York City or just any urban community in the United States of America, you know that when you go to the doctor in the hood, it's no good. And it's not just a cliche, it's the truth. Like, my parents, my mom, she always went to a doctor in Long Island. And growing up, I just never understood. I'm like, damn, Ma, why you go to the doctor in Long Island? And they be like, ain't nothing good in the hood. You know, I went to private schools. I don't know if I told y'all. And I always wanted to go to public school. And I'm like, why I can't go to public school like the other kids? They like, no, child. Like, my father was a 911 operator. So he would literally get phone calls from the neighborhood schools, because it used to be stabbings and all that. It used to be wild in the East. Those of y'all from East New York. So it used to be wild. My father was like, nah. So, yeah, so like, you can't trust shit in the hood. It's so true. So I went to this doctor in Brownsville, and she tells me I have, you know, because I never had cramps before. I only had cramps like when I first had my period at 12. But just in general, I just never had cramps. So all of a sudden I started having cramps, heavy bleeding. I would go out. One time I'll never forget, so embarrassing, but my uncle, he was cool. And he was like, oh, it's life, don't worry about it. Like, him and his wife, they was just so comforting. And his wife was like, well, let me know. They was like, well, maybe you should go to the doctor, whatever. So I'm at dinner. This is 2018. And I felt myself like flowing, but I'm not thinking, oh, I'm flowing heavy, right? So I'm flowing, and we're out Anton's. So those of y'all from Queens and Long Island, y'all know what Anton's is. It's the nice catering hall in Queens Village. It's actually up the block from my high school. Beautiful catering hall. So we're here having dinner because his neighbor has a nonprofit called For Kidney's Sake. So we're at this banquet type dinner, and my uncle is cracking jokes. And every time I'm laughing, I feel myself, like the blood coming down, but it's not registering in my head to go to the bathroom to change, because I'm not thinking I'm gonna flow through. You know what I mean? Like, it just wasn't clicking. I get up and I see a whole bunch of blood on the seat, and my uncle had covered it with the white cloth, whatever. I was so embarrassed. Like, nobody saw it because, you know, we covered it, the seat, but it was just like, oh my God, what's going on with me? And then another time, I was at work and I flowed through, but nobody saw it because I had took my shirt out, because we had to wear these shirts. And so I took my shirt out my pants and I covered my shirt over my jeans so nobody saw the little stain. And then another time in April 2018, I had flowed really heavy at home, but again, I'm not really thinking anything of it, and I passed out in my hallway in my apartment. And my son, luckily he was home, he helped me up, and he was still little himself, but he had to help me up. And I had low iron or whatever, so yeah, that was like a trying time. But I go to this doctor in my neighborhood, a black woman. She tells me that her name is Davis, by the way. So those of y'all watching, y'all live in the Brooklyn area, do not go to Davis, right, in Brownsville Medical Services. It sucks. Do not go there. You could be on time for your appointment, you still gotta wait. They don't do that in downtown Brooklyn, in more mixed areas. They don't do that. So like, you could be late for where I go, Institute of Family Health. The funny thing is, I used to go to them, and then I had stopped because what happened was, when I worked at World Trade Center, they cut off my Medicaid, and I had the insurance from World Trade Center, so that's what happened. So it was kind of like a process to get Medicaid again when I wasn't working for them no more. So it was a whole thing, and something happened with the Medicaid that I had, and all that I could get was Affinity Health. And under Infinity, BMS took Affinity. Not that many people take Affinity. So for a while, I got used to the neighborhood. I would have never ended up at the neighborhood thing if that wouldn't have happened. So finally, I went back to Medicaid, and I was able to go back to Institute of Family Health. But anyway, this doctor, she made me feel like a child. I don't know if y'all seen Golden Girls, and you know, her doctor was very dismissive, whatever. It was a very good episode where Dorothy is like, I hope you're a better doctor to your other patients than you were to me. And that's how I feel about this doctor. She made me feel like I was a child, like I didn't, you know, she's like, oh, I've been doing this longer than you've been alive. There's no way you have fibroids. You're too young. You only flow heavy one day out your period. You're a woman. You're supposed to have cramps. Like, just like very dismissive, not caring. Then she attempted to examine me without gloves. I said, put your gloves on. I said it just like that. Like, put your gloves on. She's like, oh, yeah, you smart. A lot of people don't tell me that. So she was just a horrible doctor. I'm pretty sure that there's good black doctors, female, but I haven't had that experience. I only had one good female doctor, and that was my GYN when I was pregnant. She also went to my church. So, you know, she was thorough professional, but I don't trust black female doctors, and I'm very sorry. Another black female doctor, she didn't even have her degree. I was told by Brooklyn, the same place, Brownsville Medical Service. I was like, where did she go? There's another one. Oh, she went to go get her doctorate. Aren't you already supposed to have your doctorate before you practice medicine? Like, what the hell? Like, they really don't care about people in the hood at all, right? So it's just sad. So I went to a white woman, as usual, and she treated me with respect. She treated me like a person. She said, well, I don't think, she was honest. Well, I don't think you have fibroids, but if you feel like you have fibroids, we'll test you. So we took an ultrasound and an MRI. And we found out that I have one fibroid the size of a walnut. So I said that to say this, ladies. If you feel something and you know something's wrong with your body, you have to be an advocate. And if you live in a certain neighborhood, try not to depend on them because they're not going to care. And it's really sad that you can't even trust your own. Now, for the black male doctors, they alright. My son's been to black male doctors. So far, so good. Foot doctors. Because he was growing a bunion from wearing Jordans. So that's another thing I wanted to talk about. Stop wearing Jordans. The end. So your feet is very important for the teenagers that watch me. Your feet is very important. So yeah, I wanted to talk about, I know I said the other video was my last, but this really one is my last. But I'm surprised I never talked about fibroids. But yes, get that checked out. Fibroids, it can happen to you at any age. It can happen to anybody. I also wanted to say, when it's that time of the month, ladies, stay away from things like, now this is my favorite thing to drink nowadays. Like, I get on, I don't know about y'all, but I have like coffee binges. I can't drink this. I'm on my period now, that time of the month. Do not drink it. This is espresso macchiato, right? Do not drink coffee, espresso, lattes, or any of that stature during your period, ladies. Do not drink alcohol, right? Do not drink alcohol. I don't care if it's 5%, 2%, do not drink it, because that exacerbates the cramps. Do stay away from grease. My son made chini alfredo, some type of pasta he made. It was really good. But I actually had cramps last night. So right before I got my period, I had the espresso. So I know that might have been a, contributing factor. But I was a person who never gave tea a chance. Guys, if you're not a tea drinker, and this is what I wanted to talk about, this is what they have for people like me, and you don't like no damn tea. There you go. Silicil seasonings. You got your raspberry, ginger, your peach passion, your wild berry, true blueberry, black cherry berry, caffeine free, herbal tea, right? And you got your yoga tea. You got all different I had like a bunch of different type of teas, and I had to throw it out because it expired. And my father informed me. I didn't know tea could expire. Wow, And yeah, like, I don't really drink. If I do drink, I do not want to taste the alcohol. That's how I am. I could drink up to 3-4 drinks or something, as long as it don't taste like alcohol. I drink coffee as long as it don't taste like coffee, straight up. I like espressos, lattes, and stuff like that. And for that time of the month, tea is the best thing to go. I've been drinking teas. This week is when I started, so it's never too late to start something new. I also have lemon ginger, this yogi. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm pretty sure it's good. You can get it in your local grocery store. And yeah, ladies, just exercise. I know I've been procrastinating with that, but exercise. It just something as simple as walking. Like, what was it, the day before yesterday? Sometimes the bus is slow and the 7 bus come, so I take it to Saratoga and then I walk home. That's my little exercise. However you could get it in, walking, whatever. It's good to get some type of exercise in. Stay away from grease, stay away from liquor, and stay away from caffeine during that time of the month. That can reduce your cramps. No one told me. I just did it on my own research. Doctors are not going to tell you everything. You got to research things on your own. And those are my thoughts.